applying. Yeah. Well, honestly, I don't think job apps are that difficult nowadays because a lot of the companies I was applying to, like if they use Workday, you can use the same like resume format. They got a bunch of jobs, so you could hit
Workday. So I'm glad you said that Workday is trash.
Workday needs to do a little better with.
I just made like a whole video on Workday, and people was complaining about the same thing. You put your resume in, and then like it'll parse the first 3 things good,
and then everything else is.
And you got to go manually add everything. I got to make a freaking new account for every company that got Workday.
Every company, yeah, they need to pair the instances, I think.
Like, and then so I didn't notice through my research, like real time doing that episode last Sunday. A guy is suing Workday because he believes that they're using AI to pretty much reject people based on like whatever type of workforce they already have. So, which I said, I feel like you're going to have a hard time winning that just because I think it's really hard to prove that unless you got some info that we don't have. But I was like, I've applied sometimes to jobs on Workdays where like in 5 minutes I've been rejected. I was like, ain't no way. Like Duke didn't say, ain't no way, boy.
No, I'm gonna have to look into that because the thing too with suing companies is you don't have to be right with what you think. When you sue somebody, like the burden is on them.
Look at you, come ahead. Come on, Annalise.
I know. I'm gonna. I should go back to law school. I know, but if I make a bogus claim, it's on the company to prove that that's not true. So a lot of the times, like I could have a reach. I could say such and such company is being deceitful. Doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. They have to hand over everything to prove that they're not. So, and then now it's on your lawyer to be like, okay, yeah, we can poke holes through this.
Right. Yeah, so, like the judge threw out some claims, but the suit is still there. I need to actually follow up on it again. But that was interesting because I was like, we all hate Workday, but we love Greenhouse and everything else. You just throw your resume in, you apply. Like think about it. You're telling me to upload my resume and then making me paste the stuff I just put in the resume. Why y'all just can't read the resume? It defeats the purpose of even uploading the resume.
Yeah, is the competition is really high, and then too, like they really don't have the time to. Like I think the stats are recruiters spend less than 6 seconds reading your resume. And it's like, that's why they got AI, ATS systems doing everything.
Man, hey, you know what? Hey, listen, if y'all watching this right now, let's go back to the old school. Get your envelopes, the resumes out, find headquarters, say, hey, the HR department, and try your luck. So they ain't going to deny that.
Walk inside and be like, I need to talk to the hiring manager right now.
Hey, if you know where a company is at, like, by all means, like, figure out somebody that worked there. Like, yo, hey, I'm finna physically bring my resume up here. Somebody gonna give me a job. You might get a job just off the street. You doing something different. Like, at this point, you got to stand out.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate of that. You got to find a way to, like, it's my mentor in high school used to always say, like, it's your job to get a job. Like, it's not going to be automatically given to you unless you have, like, a connections and nepotism and stuff like that. But it's a full-time job to find a job.
No,
and applying, learning how to interview. You don't have to be right at an interview. You just have to be good at telling a story and getting people to like your personality. So, yeah, it's your job.
Or if they already know they're going to hire anyway, you're just wasting your time.
Yeah. I've talked to hiring managers before who have straight up told me, like, we are hiring internally, but, because of whatever HR policies, we're required to post this for 7 days and then also interview applicants. But they already know who's going to take the time.
Exactly. Or like I brought up how it was like my video is pretty much like, why is finding a job so hard? So it's like these different things job seekers going through. It's like one of the ones that is a killer is like, it could have been a role you interview for and then you see it's open again. And you're like, all right, did the person y'all hired over me, did they mess up? Or y'all got another position open? Like, what's up? What's good? Or what happened? Like, one of the things I want to know is that I was in the company I really wanted to work for and I got to the sprint and I'm like, I normally kill all these things and I record like everything I say. And I'm like, I don't recall saying nothing that would have made them not say yes. This is like the easiest part because in order to get there, I was given an assessment like who else? Let's keep it family friendly. I was given an assessment about like a AWS incident and I knocked it out of the park. And they saw it like, yo, we got to talk to him. And they talked to me. And so I'm like, so those are those things. So I always feel my clients, I'm like, sometimes you dodge a bullet. I've had sometimes where I've interviewed the person for another role, a role that I initially interviewed for, and I got picked over for a person that's less qualified. It's a whole bunch of stuff. So I understand like how grimy it get and why people feel the way they do.
Mhm.
And that's why I'm just always working on my network, and I'm always connecting people. And like I get clients, and I know people on certain teams, and I try to connect them with a person that's doing good. It's just a lot of signs of getting a job. And I always say, even with helping people, I say, I just hate that getting a job is this hard. This video is being sponsored by Textual Consulting. Are you still struggling to get into cybersecurity? Are you not getting interviews? Do you have a bad resume? Or is it all the above? Well, if that's you, then we got you covered at Textual Consulting. My name is Henri Davis. I'm a career coach and a cybersecurity professional, and I've helped hundreds, maybe even thousands of people get into cybersecurity with my coaching and my content that you've seen in various places. Now, I specialize in specifically getting people in the blue team. That would be incident response or SOC analyst. I can cover everything from your entry level to your medium to your advanced skills and really help you outperform your resume. You don't believe me? Check out some of these testimonials that I've had from recent clients. So if you're interested, click the link in my bio, textualconsulting.com/offerings to see what offerings that we have available for you. Now, back to the show.
Yeah. I think too, right now, the landscape in the job search field is tough because you're still dealing with all the layoffs, the massive layoffs from the pandemic. You know, all these companies are posting record profits, but somehow are laying thousands of people off because, the story for another day.
Reorgs.
So,
some people they felt was making too much, so they want to bring some other people back in,
salary
pay them a little
adjustments.
less.
And then two,
RTO.
when the government was giving out PPP loans, one of the stipulations was that they had to continue hiring. Otherwise, they had to pay the money back to the government. So a lot of companies, because policy and legal, whatever, it's a loophole. So you put out a requisition, have it out for 20 days, interview a bunch of people, and then say, I didn't find anybody that was qualified for this role, whether they were or not, objectively. That's how you get there are a lot of companies doing that, large and small. Yep. So, yeah, like you don't even know. And then companies too are data farming with resumes. They're collecting. I'm getting a lot of notices about it now. I don't know what's going on if companies are required to notify people or whatever, but I learned about this a couple months ago. But they're collecting a lot of information on people, like what your skills are, where you went to school, where you live, and stuff like that. Just kind of resource pooling, see what they can find. They can tell you that, we'll hold on to your resume. And if we find something that, fits your skills, we'll reach back out to you. I have a friend who actually landed a job that way. But no, I've been getting a lot of notices from that.
That reminds me, like, while we talking about the situation in the Discord the other day, so it was like, hey, they was like, no disrespect to anybody who's Indian in this Discord, but like, yo, y'all be having any luck with the Indian recruiters?
Listen, the Indian recruiters, I don't know what it is they're looking for. At the end of the day, they're getting paid by converting people, but they got to do better.
Man, I think they be taking resumes and taking people's name off and putting other people's on it and submitting them.
You think so?
I feel like it.
Oh yeah, I
and
mean,
you
that
get hit up by like
possibly.
You get hit up by 3-4 Indians at one time about like the same job, and they all be paying different things. You're like, huh?
No.
Or it's like, did you even read my profile? Why are you sending me this?
That's the thing. They cast a wide net. Some of their companies are legit. They get paid. That's a big business too. Like you hire somebody on, they get paid like 10K, 20K, like I had conversion. There's that, but when they reach out to me and they're like, I think you're really qualified and you'll send over your resume. I'm like, did you actually read? You didn't read this. You just found an email list and hit send and then tried to see what you could get.
If you want to look out for recruiters you can trust, check out Ellington Solutions. They got jobs so you can talk to Americans to get you a job.
Talk to Americans.
I'll send y'all the bill later.